early stage B2B founders or their sales leaders who are trying to build their outbound sales motions, almost by rule, burn through $50,000 to $100,000 and waste anywhere between 6 to 12 months trying to figure everything out, only to end up right where they started from. This is the exact situation that happened to this client of ours. And by the way, most people fall into one of three buckets, sometimes even all three. One is they hire an SDR in-house. The second problem happens when you hire an outreach agency too soon. And then thirdly, you try to do things on your own. When you hire an SDR in-house, this typically fails because the person that you hired is not senior enough to achieve the results that you're looking for. They might be a good cold caller, but they don't really know what they're working with. What's the ICP? What's the persona? How to source the leads properly? How to build the lists properly? How to find contact information, phone numbers that are actually good? How to build out a script? And there's actually nobody in the organization to support them in these efforts. So they end up usually burning out, or you fire them 4 to 6 months into the process and you're down $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 on salaries, tools, and zero pipeline. Now with outreach agencies, this is a good workaround, but these agencies don't build out your infrastructure for outbound sales. They're most often incentivized with vanity metrics, open rates, reply rates, meetings booked instead of qualified shows, volume sent. And they do this often with no regard to whether you or your account executives can actually close these deals. So there's no alignment on the actual results. And at the end of the day, you actually end up with nothing because the data is theirs, the campaigns are theirs, and the outreach that they run is run on their infrastructure. So you end up paying $5,000 to $10,000 retainers for months on end with no real results and a leaky boat. Once they're gone, your insights are gone with them. And then finally, you try doing it on your own. You start going down the rabbit hole. You start researching about automated emails, AI, SDRs. You go through Clays and Apollos and Instantleads and Smart Leads of the world. And after a few months, you just get zero pipeline. So you decide, all right, if a 21-year-old can do it, I can cold call myself. You pick up the phone and you start dialing. Day after day, you spend 3 to 4 hours. Almost nobody's picking up the phone. You're hitting invalid numbers, wrong people when they pick up the phone. And even when you hit the actual person that you want to talk with, you're not in the zone, you're stumbling across your script, and they actually don't want to hear out your pitch. And then you finally decide, okay, screw cold calling, I'm going to try automating my LinkedIn outreach. And so you start connecting with people, you start hitting the limits on your connect requests, you start seeing that nobody actually is connecting with you on LinkedIn, and you might be even seeing LinkedIn blocking your account for a few days because of your spam activities. And this all ends up feeling like a huge mess. You are 6 to 12 months through your runway, down $50,000 to $100,000 and no results to show for it. And so, like I said, this is the exact situation our client was actually in. They tried cold emails multiple times, zero responses. Then they tried cold calling again multiple times, failed miserably every time with zero meetings booked. And yet their competitors were actually using SDRs and had a bunch of them using them both for inbound and outbound. And so we came in, we said, all right, give us a few months. Let us build the outbound engine for you guys. We'll get you to a level where you're getting 3 to 5 qualified meetings every single week consistently in the next 60 to 90 days. So here's how we approached it. We started with ICP interviews, case study research. We went through their CRM, looked into closed won and closed loss. We analyzed what is making their customers actually buy. We even did a secret shopper project with their top 3 competitors. We interviewed their account executives, their founders, their sales and marketing leaders. And based on all of that, we built the initial outreach strategy. We created the initial call list and we started doing cold calls. So week 1, we only booked 1 qualified meeting that week. So our list was way off. We were getting pickups, but we weren't really talking to people who were in charge of the department into which we were actually selling. So we had to change things up a little bit. Week 2, this week as well, we only booked 1 qualified meeting, but our list was spot on. The changes we made all the difference. We were actually talking to the right people, but this time they were shutting us out. They didn't want to talk to us. They were hanging up the phone, etc. And so this time we needed to change the script itself. The persona wasn't really reacting properly to our script. Right now into week 3, we actually had our SDR off that week. He was off for 2 days out of 5, but we did end up booking these 2 qualified meetings for the week. And this was actually proof of things getting better. We started nailing down the script. We were actually getting most people to talk to us. We started getting some real objections, getting the names of the products that they were actually using, that they had in place, timeline objections, when their product is up for renewal. We updated the script and the playbook with all the objections and the objection handles. And with that, we went into the next week. And as you can see, in week 4, we actually managed to book the 5 meetings that we were talking about all this time. So at this point, we already had everything in place and nailed down, right? The list was perfect. We were talking to the right people. We had the right things to say when we connect with those people. We had the objection handling in place. And so naturally, the meetings just started pouring in. Now, the only thing was we weren't really doing this on a full-time basis. It was more part-time with a single SDR as a part of this consulting offer. Regardless, the client was so happy with the results that we provided that they decided that they're going to bring on board a full-time SDR who's going to be booking meetings on their behalf with the expectation to hit 15 to 20 meetings per month on an ongoing basis. Now, mind you, this in particular is an outlier. It doesn't happen this fast. Outbound sales usually takes anywhere between 3 to 9 months to figure out. It takes time to perfect the scripts, to nail down the ICP, to figure out what we're going to say on those calls, to figure out the cold email messaging, optimize the nurture campaigns when the meetings are booked actually so they show up. But if you would like to get your outbound sales system built and actually get yourself in a place where you're booking 3 to 5 meetings per week on a consistent basis, I've got something for you. We will build your entire outbound sales system end to end. We'll map your ICP, we will interview your team, we will analyze your CRM, and we'll even secret shop your competitors. Then we'll go and define 10 to 12 signals that your buyers will be responding to. We'll build your lists, find decision makers, their contact information, and we'll automate everything. We'll set up your full email infrastructure. We'll write and test your cold email campaigns, your LinkedIn sequences, and your cold call scripts. And then we'll actually run the outbound for you in the next 60 to 90 days. We will cold call until this channel works. We will be sending cold emails and LinkedIn outreach until these channels actually work. We'll iterate every single week for as long as we work together to make sure that we're optimizing constantly and moving towards that goal of 3 to 5 booked meetings per week. And the outcome is simple. A tested, proven outbound engine that books qualified leads on your calendar 3 to 5 times per week, built and validated in the next 90 days. And the real question here isn't if this can be done. We do this all the time. It is how fast this can be done. And to make sure that you're getting your money's worth, in case we don't hit those numbers in the next 90 days, we will work with you for free until we do. And so all the risk is essentially on us to perform and just give you the playbook that you need to win. And so I'd like to invite you to a 60-minute free consultation where we will pinpoint the exact gaps that you're currently experiencing and how to solve them. So worst case scenario, you'll just walk away with actionable strategies and tactics that you can implement right away in your business in order to make a difference. Best case, if we decide we're a fit, we'll partner with you, and for the next 90 days, we'll build out your whole outbound engine and we'll test it for you. And if you don't get those results, 3 to 5 meetings consistently booked per week, we'll keep working with you until you get them. So go ahead and click on the link to book your free consultation. Let's find out exactly what you need and get you on a path of predictable outbound systems that bring repeatable results. I'll see you there.